This is November 1st, 2021, Darcy's Corner. This is my second part to a response to the Dave Chappelle thing. And this thought just won't leave my mind. Dave Chappelle making light of trans people and particularly our struggles with society, acceptance in society and whether or not we can use a particular restroom or not. I'm going to liken that to a white guy making jokes about lynching. It's not funny, is it? If a white person, or anybody really, makes jokes about lynching, it's just not a funny subject. I'm not saying there can't be a joke there, but for the most part, it's pretty rude and ugly. Do you understand, if you're watching this and you're a trans person or a trans ally, do you understand how many people are killed every year for being trans and using the wrong bathroom? How is that any different from lynching? It's not, by the way. They grab them and they beat the crap out of them, and it's a horrible way to die. I've never had anybody beat the crap out of me till I almost died, but it happens to trans people every single year, all over the world. Some countries are worse than others, and their only crime is they went to the bathroom. It's not really very funny, is it? Well, Dave Chappelle seemed to think that it was not a big deal to mock that situation. And then he wonders why he's canceled. Well, certain areas of joking really shouldn't be happening. Yeah, you can scream fire in a crowded theater, but there's consequences to that. Well, if you're not welcome in certain rooms anymore, Dave, if you're not welcome with certain comedy circles or entertainment circles, guess you did that. Don't go away mad, though. Just go away. Don't bother telling us why you're not transphobic and why it's perfectly okay that you are transphobic, because don't tell us. We don't care. It's not funny to mock people being murdered for no particular reason. Lynching is not a funny subject, and you can apply the lynch mob mentality to any outcast. And it is applied to trans people all the time. That black trans woman who was really, credited with the pride parades and all the stuff going on with that, and she's like on posters and things. Do you know how she died? She was grabbed by a group of transphobes. They beat the living crap out of her, and they threw her in a river where she drowned. She was lynched to death for being black and being trans, but mostly for being trans. I guess she probably used the wrong bathroom. Not a very funny joke. Not really something to make light of and act like, well, it's okay you made fun of it because you know somebody who was in your show who was trans, who also died as a direct result of being in your show. So now you're going to profit off of a Netflix special where you exploit the fact that your previous exploitation led to a woman's death? Yeah, no wonder you're not welcome in certain rooms anymore. It's not funny. It's not just a joke. It's so many lives that are being destroyed. And needlessly. Right? If your jokes were funny and moved the conversation forward and help people to understand why we all need these things. Like, that would have been fine. Why couldn't you have used your powers of persuasion for that? Like, anyway, so no, you weren't funny. Yes, you deserve to be canceled. And I don't care how much money you put in a trust fund for the kid of the trans woman who you had an association with before she took her own life, because of the shame she felt from being involved in your show. I mean, too many of us have been there where she was before she took her life. Maybe we just didn't make that choice that day. But too many of us have made that choice, and sadly, too many more will. I'm sure that there's a funny joke to be made about the number of suicides committed by trans people because they can't get basic acceptance in this world. I just don't think you made it. So, I might even post part 1 because part 2 is sensational enough, but we'll see. Yeah, if you're wondering why that Dave Chappelle special wasn't funny to the trans community, or to friends of the trans community, it's because suicide isn't really that funny, and having your life disrupted because of you exist wrong, according to the standards of other people, isn't that funny. Anyway, this is Darcy's Corner. Sorry this one got dark. Catch y'all later.